Welcome to This Explainer. We live in this amazing era of medical breakthroughs, yet millions of couples today find themselves in a profoundly frustrating situation, struggling to conceive. It's honestly a paradox of modern life. People who aren't trying to get pregnant seem to do it effortlessly, right? While those who are actively planning for a family often face this confusing uphill battle. Well, if you're on this journey, I want you to know you are absolutely not alone, and today we're going to unpack exactly how to empower your biology.
So why exactly is getting pregnant so incredibly stressful these days? Well, honestly, our modern lifestyles are kind of throwing fuel on the fire. Lots of folks are understandably delaying pregnancies for career and financial reasons. But when you combine that delayed timeline with urban living, highly sedentary routines, changing diets, and historically high stress levels, you get a perfect storm. It really complicates what should be a fundamental, natural biological process.
All right, let's just dive right in. To cut through all that noise and anxiety, we're going to walk through a really straightforward 5-step guide based on insights from Dr. Anjali Kumar. We're looking at your fertile window, preparing your body, preconception counseling, the role of vitamins, and managing stress. Starting right off with step 1, your fertile window.
Now, there is this really fascinating, almost surprising statistical reality to conception. Did you know that even if a perfectly healthy couple has unprotected sex during a cycle, the actual chance of pregnancy is only about 20 to 25%? Seriously, that's it. Just normalizing that single number is a massive game changer for taking the pressure off. You absolutely do not need to panic if it doesn't happen on day one. It's simply how human biology is wired.
And because of those exact odds, trying for 6 to 12 months before getting pregnant is perfectly 100% normal. Honestly, letting go of this intense expectation that it's going to happen instantly is probably one of the healthiest things you can do for your mindset on this whole journey.
To maximize the chances we do have, we really need to talk about ovulation. Simply put, ovulation is just the process where a mature egg gets released from one of your ovaries. Biologically speaking, this typically happens exactly 14 days before your next period starts. Getting a really solid handle on this specific timeline is your absolute foundation here.
There is a very tight specific window you actually need to care about. Because ovulation hits 14 days prior to your period, the optimal time to start trying is 2 or 3 days before ovulation and 2 or 3 days after. Why? Well, because an egg only stays alive inside the body for about 48 hours. And sperm? They also hang around for about 48 hours. So you've got this exact 48-hour biological window, meaning, and this is huge, having sex every single day or multiple times a day is actually not required at all. Every alternate day during this window gets the job done perfectly.
Okay, let's clear up some massive anxiety-inducing myths right now. Myth number 1, you've got to lie down, throw a pillow under your hips, or avoid getting up to keep semen from leaking. The reality? It is perfectly normal for some semen to come out. Since the dawn of time, sperm have known exactly how to find the egg. You can literally get up and go about your day immediately. Also, no specific position or magical day of the cycle is going to guarantee the sex of the baby. It's always a 50-50 coin toss. And hey, while a female orgasm is fantastic, it is absolutely not a biological requirement for conception.
Just one really quick but vital note on this phase. If you choose to use lubricants, you have got to check the label. Make sure they are glycerol-free, paraben-free, and totally fragrance-free. It's a tiny check, but it protects sperm health from a bunch of unnecessary chemical roadblocks. Moving right along to step 2, preparing your body.
Preparing your body is really just about making some straightforward daily tweaks. First up, diet. Eating fresh fruits, veggies, and whole grains is huge because they're packed with antioxidants that actively boost your fertility. On the flip side, highly processed and packaged foods contain free radicals that can literally damage both sperm and egg health. Next, maintaining an optimum weight is key. Being overweight can actually spike insulin resistance and mess with your periods. You'll also want to curb your caffeine to about 200 milligrams a day. That's roughly 2 small cups of coffee. And yes, that includes the sneaky caffeine hidden in sodas and herbal teas. And smoking? Completely non-negotiable. It has got to stop entirely. And we really have to address a massive misconception here. A lot of people genuinely believe that working out while trying to conceive might mess with implantation or cause a miscarriage. No way. That is absolutely untrue. The reality is, moderate, consistent exercise is phenomenal for your fertility. It keeps your weight in check, improves that insulin resistance we just talked about, and makes sure your hormones are flowing exactly how they should.
All right, step 3, preconception counseling.
This is all about why a proactive visit to your gynecologist is absolutely critical, not just an afterthought. When you sit down with your doctor, they're going to establish a solid baseline. They'll dive into your detailed period history and help pinpoint those exact fertile days. But even more importantly, they are looking for chronic conditions, things like hypertension, thyroid issues, or diabetes. It is absolutely crucial to get those conditions completely under control before you conceive to ensure a safe pregnancy. They'll likely also do a preconception ultrasound and a pap smear, just to make sure everything looks good. They're also going to order a very specific panel of blood work, so you might want to mentally bookmark this list. We're talking a complete blood count, a thyroid test, a sugar test, a thalassemia test, and a rubella test, along with some basic infection screenings. Having all this hard data beforehand just removes so many scary, unknown variables from your fertility equation. Which brings us to step 4, the role of vitamins. Proper nutrition isn't just a nice bonus, it's a fundamental requirement. The superstar here is folic acid. Every single woman planning to conceive really needs to start taking 5 milligrams of folic acid at least 3 months before even trying. Why? Because a deficiency can cause severe neural tube birth defects. Getting ahead of that is absolutely critical. Alongside that, vitamin D, about 400 to 800 international units daily, is highly recommended because it supports a massive array of vital cellular processes in your body. But hey, a really strong word of caution here. While we hear all the time about the magic of vitamin C, E, or zinc, and selenium for egg and sperm health, please do not just blindly pop over-the-counter multivitamins. Sure, they're everywhere at the pharmacy, but you have got to follow proper dosage instructions and get the green light from your doctor first to make sure you're getting exactly what your specific body needs. And finally, step 5, managing stress. This is probably the most pervasive and overlooked hurdle in modern fertility. We tend to think of stress as just a bad mood, right? But it has a very harsh physical reality. Stress is arguably the biggest driver of infertility today because it actively works at the level of your brain. It physically disrupts the precise brain-level hormones that are strictly required for you to actually get pregnant. Because it is that biologically disruptive, you've got to actively fight it. You really have to do whatever it takes to decompress. Do things that genuinely keep you happy. Try some yoga, maybe get into breathing exercises like pranayama, dedicate a few minutes to meditation, or just spend quality time laughing with the people you love. It's such a vicious cycle. The stress of struggling to get pregnant, or the stress of doing infertility treatments, often makes the exact problem you're trying to solve even worse. I really want to ground our explainer today with this awesome reminder from Dr. Anjali Kumar. She says, getting pregnant was not supposed to be so difficult in the scheme of nature. It is essential for the survival of species. I love that. Nature wants this to happen. It's really just our crazy, complicated modern lives that have made such a natural, beautiful thing so stressful. So trust your body, understand the science behind it, and most importantly, give yourself a little grace.
All right, we've covered the math of your fertile window, the lifestyle tweaks, medical counseling, vital supplements, and the massive, massive impact of stress. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. What is one step you will take today to reduce your stress and prepare your body? Just think about it. Pick one tiny change and start right there. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we will see you next time as we keep breaking down the science of living well.